Grand evening, folks. It's about 9 p.m. and I'm out here in my micro food forest. This is the other side of my micro food forest, and I'm out here looking at all my fruit trees. Man, my dagmai mango is growing very well. It's putting out more new leaves, brand new leaves coming out, which is beautiful. It's getting nice and big in this bonsai pot. It's growing very well. And on top, if you can see a little tip right there on top where my finger is pointing at, trying to focus in here. Another new set is coming out right there, going to be growing on top. So this baby is growing very well, and one day, this is a graft. There's a graft right there. One day, that will produce mangoes in a bonsai pot, bonsai and mangoes. So I've taken a my mango and I'm turning it into a bonsai. Beautiful. Just like I'm doing these fig trees that are going pretty good. This one I've already wired. This one, as you can see, it's wired. And then we have my cochin dwarf jackfruit trees. This variety is supposed to be one of the most delicious jackfruit. It's a dwarf jackfruit. The jackfruit only gets 3 to 5 pounds on this variety. That's it, 3 to 5 pounds. And I have 2 of these. This one's growing very, very well. I mean, this baby's just taking off. I mean, all these new little leaves. You can see all the new little leaves popping out all over the place. And this one is now starting to take off, which I'm happy about. I was a little worried about this one, but it's taking off just beautiful now. So this one will be big as that one here soon, hopefully. So I'm enjoying coming out here and looking at my my micro orchard. Everything in my food forest I do is from a micro standpoint, because I'm showing you and I'm using my space that I have to grow a lot of food, different varieties of food. There's my solar lights right there, and there's the moon right there. Look at that beautiful moon right there. That moon is beautiful. The motion detectors just popped the solar back on bright again, which I like, getting that free power. I love harvesting free power. I love harvesting free water. Everything can be free if you use your mind. We have been programmed that we must buy everything. We must buy our own power, our own food. You don't have to. Right now, in southern Texas, we are in hurricane season right now. And if you haven't been to a hurricane, I've been through a few hurricanes. One of the big ones was Harvey back in 2017. I'm going to talk about hurricanes for a second. People think, especially in Houston, Because Houston, believe it or not, is 50 miles away from the Gulf. 50 miles. In Houston, it's way above sea level, people. This is not New Orleans. New Orleans is way below sea level. They are in a bowl below sea level, and they're right on the coast. We are not. There's the aquaponic system going off. Dumping. And again, we are 50 miles to 55 miles. Well, I'm further than that. I'm probably like 70 miles, because I'm like 30 miles northwest of Houston. Houston is 50 miles from the ocean, from the Gulf, and it's way above sea level. It's not like New Orleans. So people wondering why we are in the hurricane zone still, not because we're low. We're in the hurricane area still because we're close to, we're 50 miles from the ocean. You gotta realize that. So in Harvey, when Harvey hit, the reason why Houston flooded out, parts of Houston flooded out, was because, believe it or not, people, it's poor infrastructure. You heard me right. Houston has a horrible drainage system. It's very old, dilapidated, and Houston has grown. It's the most growingest largest city in the nation. They put on lots of concrete over the years, and what happens is all that concrete in a old drainage system, sewer system, and what happened with Harvey is Harvey dumped the most water that Houston's ever seen, because that storm stayed over the city for 3 days. 3 days of constant raining. I mean, serious raining. The drainage system is so old, with all the concrete they put on, because Houston is growing like crazy, it couldn't handle it. So all that water came up and flooded the city, inner city of Houston. Another problem we have here is, in not only Houston but Texas period, is Center Point in ERCOT. Our power grid is the only independent power grid in the whole country. Texas has the only independent power grid in the whole country. We're not connected like all the other states are. And the power grid here is dysfunctional and so forth, because since it's the only independent power grid, they're making a lot of money off of it by not upgrading it. So when all that wind came from the hurricane, it knocked all the power out in Harvey. The same thing happened. It was worse in 2021 for the Arctic freezes. All the power was knocked out. So I'm just giving you a little background on why people say, why does Houston flood in a hurricane? Because it's 50 miles away. We're still in the hurricane zone. It's because our infrastructure, our drainage system needs to be seriously upgraded, because Houston is going to be the third biggest city in the nation. We're going to pass Chicago easily, the way we're going right now. So with all the construction they're putting in, you got to realize Houston, which is Harris County, is the second biggest county in the whole nation. Houston is huge. Harris County is the second biggest county in the nation. The only county, number one biggest county, is LA County. Then we're next by a few miles. So our infrastructure is way behind. We need a major infrastructure rebuilding that would cost billions, but it needs to be done. And that's one of the reasons why Houston, when a hurricane comes here, we flood out. Simply because we don't have enough drainage. Way too much concrete. Not out here where I live. I live northwest of Houston. I don't live in the city. I live in the burbs. I'm talking about inside the city of Houston. I'm northwest. I'm far away. I'm far enough away. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's hurricane season. Be prepared. So forth. In hurricane with the high winds, you're probably going to lose power. And this is why I built my own DIY solar generators. In case the power goes out, you need power and you need water. And I'm even after Harvey, I'm seeing people, they still don't have enough off-grid power. They still don't have any solar generators. Why am I not talking about gas generators? I have one small gas generator. And the reason why I'm not talking about gas generators is because if you've ever been in a hurricane and the power goes out, guess what, people? You're not going to be able to get no gas. You're not going to be able to get gas for your gas generator. When a hurricane comes, all the gas stations are down. They don't have any power. People don't have any power for their cars. People are stuck. Thousands are stuck. There's no gas. So during a hurricane, to me, from my hurricane experience, it's best to have a solar powered generator, because the sun's going to come back out. It could be days before they get the gas stations back up again. It was days here. The gas stations, when the power did came back up, they ran out. It was days before people could get gas. This is a guy who's been in big hurricanes like Harvey, so I'm speaking from my experience. So you need to have a solar generator for a hurricane, because your gas is going to run out and you're not going to be able to get no more gas unless you're keeping a ton of gas, which is actually dangerous itself to keep a ton of gas. Gas is very flammable. That's kind of dangerous. So it's nice and cool out here. I love looking at my plants at night. There's my aquaponics system going off again. As you can hear, it's raining again. There's fish tank. I have 8 bluegill in that one. They're getting nice and large. And I'm going to end it like that. You guys have a nice night. Grow some food. However you want to grow it. You want to grow it aquaponically, you want to grow it in the ground, whatever. Just grow some food. Find your chi. Manifest. Elevate. At the end of the day, ain't nobody coming to save us. We got to save ourselves. Beautiful moon.